Hey, awesome English explorers, and a super enthusiastic welcome back. I'm your host, Sarah, ready to turn your everyday listening into a fast track to English fluency.
And hi there, podcast aficionados. It's Peter, here to spill the beans on how your favorite audio companions can be your secret weapon for learning English, and lightning fast.
Today, we're tuning into the power of audio with Learn English Quickly with Podcasts, English Learning Conversation. Get ready to discover how those voices in your ears can be your express lane to mastering English.
That's right, Sarah. Forget slogging through grammar books for hours. Podcasts offer a fun, flexible, and incredibly immersive way to soak up the English language almost effortlessly.
So, Peter, for our listeners who might still think podcasts are just for entertainment, what makes them such a superhero in the world of language learning?
Well, for starters, accessibility is like having a 24/7 English classroom in your pocket. You can plug in and learn anywhere, anytime, during your commute, while you're hitting the gym, or even while you're tackling that mountain of laundry. Talk about multitasking with a purpose.
Absolutely. It transforms those dead time moments into golden opportunities for language growth. What other superpowers do podcasts possess?
Variety is another huge win. There's a podcast for every imaginable interest under the sun, from the latest news and fascinating cultural insights to hilarious comedy shows and deep dives into science. This means you can find content that genuinely excites you, making learning feel less like homework and more like fun.
Exactly. When you're hooked on the topic, you're naturally more engaged and your brain is like a sponge, soaking up all that English goodness.
And podcasts throw you straight into the deep end of natural English conversation. You hear real native speakers using the kind of language you'd encounter in everyday life. All those colorful idioms, tricky phrasal verbs, and the natural ups and downs of real dialogue. It's like eavesdropping on authentic English.
That's so crucial for bridging the gap between formal lessons and real-world communication. What about our listening skills? How do podcasts pump those up?
They're like a workout for your ears. Podcasts expose you to different accents, varying speaking speeds, and the natural flow of back-and-forth conversation. This trains your listening comprehension muscles and makes understanding real English speakers much easier.
Definitely. And because you're just listening, it takes some of the pressure off compared to speaking or reading, making it a more relaxed and enjoyable way to learn.
Precisely. It's like sneaking in your English practice without even feeling like you're studying. So, how can our listeners become podcast power learners and accelerate their English journey?
One golden rule is to choose your audio adventure wisely. Start with podcasts that match your current English level. If you're just beginning, look for podcasts specifically designed for learners. They often speak more slowly and use simpler vocabulary. As your ears get stronger, you can venture into more authentic and challenging content.
Think of it like leveling up in a game. You start with the easy levels and gradually take on the tougher bosses. What about making the most of your listening time?
Active listening is your secret weapon. Don't just let the sounds wash over you. Really focus on understanding the main points, picking out key vocabulary, and noticing how the speakers put their sentences together. It's like being a linguistic detective.
And don't be shy about hitting that rewind button. Listen multiple times to episodes. The first time, you might just try to grasp the general idea. Subsequent listens can be all about catching specific details or those tricky new words.
Repetition is your friend. It helps solidify what you're learning. Now, how can our listeners build their vocabulary while enjoying their favorite podcasts?
Keep a vocabulary treasure chest, a notebook where you jot down any new or interesting words you hear. After the episode, you can play linguistic archaeologist and dig up their meanings in a dictionary. Then, try using those new gems in your own sentences.
That's a fantastic way to actively build your word bank. What about those handy transcripts some podcasts offer? Are they a cheat code?
Transcripts can be super helpful, especially when you're tackling more complex episodes. You can read along while you listen to reinforce your understanding and see how those new words are spelled. But remember, the ultimate goal is to train your ear, so try to gradually rely less on the transcript as your listening skills improve.
Think of them as training wheels, great for getting started, but eventually you want to ride solo. Now, how do we stay motivated and make learning with podcasts a consistent habit?
Make it a joy, not a chore. Choose podcasts on topics that genuinely light your fire. If you're into true crime or hilarious comedy, find English language podcasts in those genres. You'll be so engrossed, you'll forget you're even learning. Also, schedule your podcast time like any other important appointment. Even 15 to 20 minutes a day adds up.
Consistency is the magic ingredient. And how can we take our podcast learning beyond just passive listening?
Get interactive. Try shadowing, mimicking what the speakers say at the same time. It's like a vocal workout for your pronunciation and fluency. You can also challenge yourself to summarize episodes in your own words or discuss the content with a language buddy.
Those are fantastic ways to actively engage and solidify your learning. Now, Peter, have you heard any inspiring stories of people who've rapidly improved their English using podcasts?
Absolutely, Sara. I remember Maria from Brazil. She was preparing for a job interview in English and felt her listening skills needed a major boost. She started listening to English news podcasts during her commute every day. She told me that within a few weeks, she felt so much more confident understanding native speakers, and she aced that interview.
That's incredible. Talk about turning commute time into career success. Any other podcast success stories?
Definitely. There's Kenji from Japan. He loved comedy but found English language sitcoms hard to follow initially. He started listening to English comedy podcasts with transcripts. He'd listen first, then read along, and then listen again without the transcript. He said his listening comprehension improved dramatically, and he even started understanding the humor.
That's fantastic. It shows how podcasts can unlock not just language skills, but also cultural understanding.
Exactly, and Isabel from France was preparing to study abroad. She wanted to improve her everyday conversational English quickly. She started listening to podcasts about hobbies she enjoyed, like cooking and travel. She said hearing native speakers talk naturally about these topics helped her pick up so many useful phrases and improve her fluency in everyday conversations.
These stories are so inspiring. It really highlights the power of podcasts as a dynamic learning tool.
Absolutely, Sara. Podcasts are like having a personal English tutor that fits right into your life. Embrace the audio adventure, and you'll be amazed at how quickly your English blossoms.
Thanks for sharing these fantastic insights and inspiring stories, Peter.
My pleasure, Sara. Happy listening and happy learning to all our amazing explorers.
Join us next time for more exciting and effective ways to master the English language. Thanks for tuning in. Keep practicing, and for more English lessons, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.